Well, hello and welcome to my dining room. Sorry about my voice. I'm getting over some bronchitis. I had a cold that was going around about 3 weeks ago. I was sick for maybe 3 or 4 days. Took all the things, got rid of it really fast, but the cough never went away. And now I have bronchitis and I'm on a puffer and whatever. Anyways, it doesn't hurt. It's just my voice sounds terrible, so sorry about that. What is going on? I am really excited because today I am starting my brand new pair of winter moccasins. If you watch my videos or you know my past history for winter camping, I made these winter moccasins from a kit from Lure of the North. Trust me, they'll look much better on my feet. I'll put a picture in here. And they're wet because I wore them today. And it's a little wet outside. Love these. I got this kit to make these winter moccasins from my friend Kielyn Marrone, who owns Lure of the North, with her husband Dave. And I was visiting there over Christmas time. I think it was 2018 or 2019-ish. And I got this kit to make these winter moccasins. I love the button because I watched Kielyn actually put a deer antler in a vice grip in their workshop and slice them to make buttons for my boots. And they're all handmade, pretty much. I did use a sewing machine for the bottom part, which I plan to do again with my new mocks. But yeah, I really love them. They've been amazing. I have all the liners and stuff inside, which I'm going to use for my new mocks. And this trim, they call it, or lacing, this crisscrosses all the way up and it makes them look actually really cool. They're super warm. They're comfortable. It's like walking around in pillows really on your feet. They're so comfortable. They're so warm. They're just not that great for wet conditions. So I've had these since about 2019-ish and keep seeing all these different kinds of moccasins online and in videos and people wearing them. And I wanted to make a different kind, a different pair. So I was talking to Laura and Jeff, who own Lure of the North Outfitters now. They purchased that part of the business from Ty and Dave. And I have a kit to make some new winter moccasins, and I'm so excited. It's a little bit of work, but there's just nothing like wearing them. I've worn those moccasins out to the store or to festivals or events, and people always comment on them. Wow, where did you get those? They're really cool. And when I say I made them, people can't believe it. So they are made with this kit that you can purchase from Lure of the North Outfitters, from Laura and Jeff. I have a video where I made the other pair, and I just thought it'd be great to make another one. Now, Lure of the North Outfitters has instructional videos that have been made by Kielyn. They're on YouTube, and I'll put the links maybe in the description so you guys can see them. I'm not going to do step-by-step like, every single thing I do, because they've already done that, and they're the experts. I'm going to film a little bit just so you guys can see what's going on and check out my progress, and I think it'll be fun. So here's the booklet. Just if you're wondering what's over here, my mom doesn't know this yet, but she'll know this by the time this video comes out. I have started making her some summer moccasins for Christmas. She's always wanted a pair of these, and every time we go somewhere where there's moccasins, she looks at them, but she's never gotten them. And when I made my winter mocks, she was really jealous. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to make her a pair. The reason that they're like this, I have the puckers and the side stitches done, but the next thing to do is the back stitch, which doesn't actually take that long. But I want to actually put my mom's feet in these and size them to her feet and make sure that they're the exact right size. When you're making moccasins for someone else, if they're winter ones, that's not too bad because you've got the boot liners that you can use. And you know, they don't fit as well, like they're kind of biggish, but you put a bunch of layers in there and different pairs of socks and the liners, and that's okay. But with the summer moccasins, I wanted to make sure that they fit my mom properly. So I'm gonna wait on finishing these until I go to see my mom over the holidays. I've actually planned to stay an extra couple of days so that I have time to finish these. But right now I want to start my winter mocks. As you can see, I have some fur here. It's Beaver, and it's going to be going on the top of the winter moccasins. So this is what your kit looks like if you order one. It's beautifully done. They do a great job, like I said. The Beaver was all folded up and nice as well, but I took that out earlier because I wanted to look at it when I first got it. So I'm going to be doing lower for the foot part, and that's this part. I just have my winter mock so I can kind of show you, but that's this part here, the lowers, and that's going to be brown cow. I think it's brown cow. How now, brown cow? So that's this part, and that is going to be this right here. So there is the hide that they sent, and that's plenty to do all the pieces. And I'm going to lay out the pattern on top and cut that out shortly. And then I'm going to have canvas uppers. Okay, so that's this part here. It's going to be canvas. And this is just like the stuff my hot tents are made of. It's thicker and treated and stuff like that. But basically the same type of material. And then this is going to go around the top. And I already have apple bottom jeans stuck in my head every time I talk about the boots with the fur. The whole club is looking at her. I definitely cannot sing with this voice. So that is going to go on the top. The canvas. And then the brown cow bottoms. I'm pretty sure she said it was cow. Okay, and then because I couldn't make up my mind, and it's hard to tell colors on the computer, Jeff, bless his heart, who packed my order from Lure of the North Outfitters, he put in a couple of different kinds of ribbon for me to choose from. Or maybe I'll use them all, I don't know. I published a story on social media, and 85% of the responses went with trim number 1. It was actually my favorite too. So I'm really excited to get started on these, and I have to go get my car worked on at the dealership tomorrow. They say it's going to be a 4-hour job, so I'm assuming I'm going to be there for about 6 hours. So I thought if I cut out the lowers and I just do the tacks, which I'll show you what that is, but basically you just attach the sides with like just, you know, a little stitch on each side and then one in the middle. Then I can do the puckers while I'm sitting there waiting for my car. I'm not sure if it's actually going to work out, but I thought, why not? Like, I was sitting there all that time. I could probably finish the lowers while I'm sitting there waiting for my car. So along with the kit, sorry I didn't finish, I've got the laces. Oh, different kinds of laces here they gave me, different kinds of trims. And then you have the Lure of the North patch, which, oh, there's the patch. And then the other one comes with the 2 sewing needles. You get 2 needles just in case something happens to one. And then here's the sinew. So I don't know if I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm not. Basically what you do is you cut, it should be arm double. So from here to here and back. Just to get started, and then this has to get split into 2s. So right now there's 4 pieces here that you can see fairly easily, and you just have to pull them into two and then just pull them apart. Yeah, so that's about it. So I'm excited to get started. I'm sorry for the bad lighting. I don't have the greatest lighting in my house, and I'm okay with it. Hopefully you guys can see enough. And even if you just watch the beginning and the end, I like to fast forward to the end and see what they look like right now. I'm excited to use this. I don't know, I've never worked with fur before, so I'm really interested to see how that gets attached to the canvas. But for right now, I'm going to put this stuff away and get my book open here. Well, I pretty much know what to do at this point for these. So I'm going to lay out the hide, and I am going to find some nice spots. I'm going to be using this on the outside. So just going to lay these out wherever I think the hide looks nice, or nicest, I guess. And then I'll trace a little outline and cut them out. And then I will be back and I'll show you what I'm going to do next. New mocks. I can't wait. I'm so excited to wear these. Okay, let's go. All right, so I just laid out the hide, and I'm just looking for the nicest spots to do the top. It's called the vamp, which is this. That's the spot that's most seen on the moccasins, as far as, well, me looking down. This part, you know, it's on the bottom. It's going to have the soling kit put on it anyways, and comes around the sides and bends and stuff. But it's a really nice piece of hide. It's really soft. I like it. So I noticed that there's some kind of cool patterns in the hide. And I thought that having something like this and this on the vamp, which is the top of the moccasin, would be pretty cool. Now I could also go this way and just have this, but I like how this is like, I don't know, it's got like a really cool texture to it. So I think I might do the vamps here and here, and use up these little spots here. So I'll trace those onto there. And then I've got all this area for the rest of it, and I don't know exactly what I want to do. Maybe, I don't know, I might go this way. I know that when I did the original ones, my first pair of winter mocks, when I went to go put the cinch to the back of the foot, this part wasn't long enough. So I want to make sure that I make this extra long, because what I ended up having to do was to wet it and to stretch it before I sewed them. And they ended up turning out fine, but I don't want to have that issue again. So I want to make sure that I have enough. So I think I might do that, like, just so that there's like that nice piece afterwards. And then I'm going to use this spot here for the other part. All right, I have traced out the pattern on the hide here. Pick the spots that I like the best. I've got the fine texture here, the little pattern for the vamp, and then similar on this one here. So I am going to cut these out and get started. All right, I have cut out the pieces for the lowers. There's the vamps. And this is the part that goes on your foot. So it goes like this, and oh, I have to write in the tack marks. I didn't do that yet. Forgot about those. Luckily, I can add them anytime. All right, I had a little trouble with the vamp. I cut them out to the pattern. I laid it on top. I checked where to tack them by the lines. I put my boot liner on there and hard to show you with one hand, but, well, you can probably see already. It did fit, but it was a little tight. Now, these will stretch, but I didn't want to have to worry about trying to get this in and out of these and have this be super tight. So I made 2 new vamps that are just a little bit wider at this part where the straight stitch goes. Now I had a hard time finding a second piece because I really loved this pattern. It was so pretty, and because I already cut them, I had to use a different section obviously to make it bigger. So I found this piece, which is pretty nice, and then I found this piece, which doesn't really look that much like this piece, but again, you probably won't notice, and I'd rather have them be able to get the boot liners in and out than have them be too small when I'm all done. All right, so I did the tacks just on the 1 foot just to show you and put the boot liner in. You can see it's quite snug, and it does fit. And now I'm going to continue with the puckers. All right, I've got the tacks in place on both the right and the left, or the left and the right. We don't know what's what at this point. And I have tried the boot liner in both of them, and they fit. So I'm going to thread my needle and get it ready to start puckering tomorrow when I'm at the car dealership. All right, hello. I'm here at Hyundai, and I have started working on my puckers on my winter moccasins. Just got the first 2 in, and I will keep you posted. All right, I just finished the right side here, did the puckers, and then I did some crisscross stitches here on the side. Looks pretty nice. I'm going to do the other side now. I've got one of the front of one of the moccasins done. It's looking pretty snazzy. I'm really happy with this. I think 3rd time's a charm. I'm gonna start the other one now. All right, I am back at home. I've got my moccasins on my boot liners now, and I'm getting ready to measure them and do the backs. So basically on the Lure of the North video that Kielyn made, she instructs you to put the boot liners in. I put my hand in here and pushed and pulled this so that there's no slack or air spots or air pockets or anything like that in the front, and make sure they're nice and tight. So I've done that. I also kind of think that one looks like a left and one looks like a right. They are fairly similar, but one does look a little bit more like a left and a right than the other. So I just kind of marked them a little bit with an L and an R inside, just so I kind of know, and then I'll see how it goes from there. Don't they look nice? I'm so proud of these. I think they look really, really good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and measure them. And basically what the video says is you take this, you're supposed to put it on your foot. I'm just going to use the boot liner because I'm doing it by myself and it's kind of hard. But pull it really tight. You're going to pull this side over, and you're just going to overlap it a tiny bit and then make a mark. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit better than that. I'm using one hand right now because I'm filming. But you're just going to take it, overlap just a little bit, and then make a mark. All right, I'm not sure if I did this right, so I'm erring on the side of caution here because I don't want to cut them in the wrong spot. You're supposed to mark them where the overlap is, and then you're supposed to measure the distance from here to here. On Kai's video, her distance was 4 centimeters, so she cut it at 2. This one is like 6, so I did it at 3, and this one is like 8, so I did it at 4. And I drew the line, and I'm going to cut it. I'm going to double check it. Again, I can cut twice, but once I cut it too much, then I'm in trouble. So I'd rather cut it too little and then put it all together and check it again than cut too much and then be in trouble. All right, so I just cut them. These are actually going to make nice little back strips for the ties because they're the perfect size. Okay, I'm going to stuff the boot liners in there again, tighten them and do all the things, and then make sure that I didn't cut too much, and then I'll see where I'm at. All right, so I still have quite a bit of overlap, which I thought I would. Like I said, I'd rather be safe than sorry. So when I put this across and then I wrap this over again, doing it with one hand, so it's not as good, but it comes to about there. So I made a new mark here and a new mark there. I'm going to measure from here to here and then draw another line in half, and then that's where I'm going to cut it. I believe they're supposed to evenly meet, like butt up together. I'm just going to check the video again just to make sure, and then I will proceed. All right, so I had to put little arrows because I have so many marks now. I don't want to get confused. From here to here is actually 4 centimeters now. So I measured it at 2 and made a cut line. And from this one to here, it's actually 5 centimeters. So I marked at 2.5 and made a cut line. I'm just gonna double check the video and I will be right back. All right, so I've cut it once again. And now this is 2 centimeters from my mark. And as you can see, this is all what I've cut off. Like I said, I'd rather do bit by bit than cutting too much and then not being able to put it back. So now what I need to do is mark the center of each using the ruler. I'm going to measure from all the way across and then mark the center. And then I'm going to make a mark 3/4 of an inch on either side of that mark. All right, so I'm really paranoid about not doing this right, so I wanted to put the boot liners in there one more time, make them really, really tight again, and just make sure. So as you can see now, if you pull these together, they'll just meet. Just a little bit extra, but not much. They'll butt up. This could actually be trimmed just a little tiny bit here. I did think that the line was just a little bit crooked. Just gonna shave a hair off of that. Like that. Okay, and then if you pull them and you sew them together, they just meet up nicely, and that's what you want. So I did it right. I'm very happy. I have to do this with my mom's summer mocks as well, so I want to make sure I really understand the process and get it right, so that when I do it in Niagara to finish her summer moccasins, I know exactly what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to finish the measuring part now. 8 inches, pretty much exactly. So the center is 4. And then you want to put a dot 3/4 of an inch on either side. So 4 3/4 over here, and 3 2/4 over here. And there's the 3 marks. Do the same thing on this side. Now this one is just a little bit over 8 inches. I'm just going to move the measuring tape there. There we go. Just so it's right in the middle. Okay, we got 4, 3 1/4, and 4 3/4. Okay. I just kind of moved it a little bit. It was just a little bit over 8. So I just moved it a couple of tick marks on either side so it was centered. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to be on your foot. Nobody's going to see it. Trust me. I've done it before. Okay. All right, so there's the 3 marks. Now we're supposed to go up 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch up. I think this one was a little bit off. 3/4 of an inch up. Okay, so from this point to this point, you're gonna draw a smiley face like that, and then a cut like that. Looks good. I'm going to cut these pieces out here, and I'll be back. Got these on these green placemats so you can see it a little bit better. If it's on the black, you won't really be able to tell where I cut it. I think this is supposed to be a bit more roundish, so I'm just gonna cut the point off. Okay, so basically what it's gonna do, you're gonna sew these together like this, or I am. And then this little piece is gonna come up like that. And do that. Do the other one. Here it is here. So it gets covered up by this little tab where the laces go through, and there's the half moon way down there at the bottom. Most of it is covered up with the soling kit. All right, so here's the first one. Just one stitch, and then you have to open it up and push it. I stick my fingernail in there and just kind of like really wriggle it around so that it gets flattened. And there it is. Now I just have to do the other one and then put the little crescent moon thing up. All right, there's the second one. Look good. I'm gonna go on to do the little crescent. All right, crescent number 1 is done. On to crescent 2. Looking more and more like moccasins as we go. The back seams are both done, and the cute little crescent moons on the bottom. Quite proud of these. I think they look great. On to the next step. Well, hello. It's Monday, and I didn't have the best day today at work, so I'm not really feeling super creative, but I want to continue with the progress of the winter moccasins. So I'm just going to do a small task today and then call it a night. Right now, here are my winter moccasins. I've got the fronts done, and I've got the back done and the crescents. What I need to do next is to put the little tab on the back that will hold the lacing, I guess you call it, or the trim that, you know, laces up and around the boots. So it's just a small piece like that. So I have cut out 2 little tabs that are going to go on the back of these. It's going to be the same stitch that I used for the crescent moon, and they're just going to go right there. All right, I've attached my little tabs on the back here. This one's a little bit crooked, but again, not a big deal. They're done, and that's it for me today. I'll be back soon to start working on the uppers. All right, hello. I am back working on my winter moccasins, and the next step is to finish the lowers, which I have not quite done yet. They're almost done, but what I need to do is cut the vamp. It's got to be like an arch in here. So last night after I did the back, I don't know, tie things, I watched Kielyn's video on YouTube just to see what the next steps were. And so I had an idea what I was going to be doing today, because I'd like to get a bit more done today than I did yesterday. So what I need to do is first of all, make sure that the tacks are even. It has to make a rectangle. So yes, they are. Seems to be good. And then what I need to do is draw a line across here from tack to tack. Should make a nice rectangle here. And then find the center point with the ruler and then go up 1/2 inch and put a dot. And then I'm going to just cut a little kind of like an arch. So I'm going to do that next and I will be back. All right, so there's my little archies, cut off about this much on each side. They weren't even. I didn't actually have them exactly even, so not too worried about that. Now I'm going to take my measuring tape and I'm going to measure around here and around here. All right, I've taken my measuring tape around and around and around. I measured them 5 times each. I keep getting different numbers. The most popular seems to be Moccasin 2, 18 inches, and Moccasin 1, 17 3/4. So that's what I'm gonna go with. And now I have to measure how tall I want them to go. Kielyn said to put them on and then just measure to just under your kneecap. So I will do that and write that down. And then I have to kind of guesstimate how, wide they're gonna be around my calf. Based on these, I'm gonna have tights on and possibly snow pants tucked in. It's not really gonna be a huge amount. So I will do that, I will write that down, and then I will be back. Oh, look at the nice piece you got. It's beautiful. Yeah, I like this. Okay. All right, so the first thing I'm going to start with is the height. The height is the full amount. There's no dividing on that. And it's 13.5 is what I wanted. So there's 13.5. Looks so short, but I guess it would be from about here-ish. So yeah, it's a couple inches over the top of the liner. So oh yeah, and then I'm supposed to add the 1 1/4. So that would make it 14.75. Sorry, my lips are really dry. Okay, 14.75. So there. Just put a little tick mark there. 9. So that's the ankle, I guess. And then the height, the calf is 22 inches divided by 2, which will be 11. Ooh, that's cutting it pretty close there. 11. I guess they guesstimated. So there's 11. And, oops, I'm down here. Oops. 11. Okay. So there's 1. And then I have to add 1/2 inch. I've got it on my TV. 1/2 of an inch for the seam allowance because this is gonna fray. It's canvas, it frays. So I have to do a zigzag stitch. So I need a little bit of an extra bit on the one side here. This is folded, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, so 1/2 an inch, and I think it would make sense to do whatever this distance was, which was 6 centimeters. I'm pretty sure it was 12, yeah. So 6 centimeters, that would make sense. I wanted to double check that because I didn't think that Kielyn measured it. She just said to go up 1/2 an inch and over 2 inches. But mine is wider than 2 inches. Mine is 2.5 inches almost. It's actually 6 centimeters, and I know that from when I went to find the middle. Yeah, it's exactly 6 centimeters. So I'm gonna go 6 centimeters so that this matches. I think that's the smart thing to do, because that'll make it match even better. Yep, so I did that. So now I'm gonna do the same thing for the other one. I'm gonna make them exactly the same, even though it's just a little bit off on the foot. It's just gonna be easier, and I've measured them like 5 times each, probably more than that. And I keep coming up with different numbers. I think 18 is a safe bet. Gonna go right there. So you can see it matches pretty much perfectly, which is what you want. Okay, so this one's done cutting. Okay, I don't know what to do next because I haven't watched the video any further, and I've never made canvas uppers. I've only made hide uppers. So, I'm gonna put my extra material away. This is all scraps, and just clean up my workstation a little bit. Oh, I do know what to do. I need the bias tape. Here's my bag of goodies that I got. I can't wait to do this part because I think it's probably the last step. And I want to put this on so bad. I'm so excited to have this, but every time it's doing it right now. As soon as I say fur, boots with the fur, I don't know if you guys know apple bottom jeans. She's got the apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. So as soon as I say fur, I hear in my head the song starts playing. I don't know, it's gonna be every time I wear them for a long time. I think I'm gonna be singing apple bottom jeans, so thank you. Okay, here's the bias tape right here. Oh, hello there, what is going on? I have got my 2 canvas upper pieces cut out, and I just have the trim laid on top. I'm gonna decide where I want it exactly, measure it, and attach it, and also attach my bias tape along the bottom piece. Now, most bias tape that I've used in the past always has a fold in it. This one doesn't. What I'm going to do is just a little sewing trick. I'm going to take my iron and I'm just going to fold this in half exactly. And I'm just going to run my iron over it just to put a little crease in it so that it's a lot easier to attach evenly to the bottoms here. I took the iron and I just creased that and then paper clipped it. I like this way better than pins. This was a great tip from Kielyn's video and I absolutely love it. Way nicer and easier to work with, and you don't have to worry about poking holes in your fingers, and that's done there. So now I have to decide where I want to put the decorative trim. Okay, so the winner is this one, and I really like it. I'm not a flowery person. I said to someone, I think this is my favorite, and they said, well, I'm not a flower person, but I kind of feel like they look kind of like snowflakes. So anyways, I'm going with it. These were the other two options. This one, I actually really like this one too, but I just think it's a little bit too blue. And this one is probably my second favorite one. Yeah. But I'm gonna go with this one here. And I just have to figure out where to put it. Now, Kielyn said that she did hers 9 inches up and she was adding fur. She said she would have put it a little bit lower. If you do the top seam first and then you do the side seam, you're gonna shut the door pretty much. Like, it's not gonna be able to go all the way through. So you have to do the side seam first and then do the fold over so that the, and that's what these are for. I don't have these on mine because mine have a button. My winter mocks, the hide ones, they fold over and they have a button. But these ones actually are gonna have this running through it. I wish it was open, I could show you better. Here, I'll use this just for visualization purposes. This is gonna fold over and this is gonna be inside, and then there's gonna be 2 slits here where you can pull it out, and then you can tie this to make it tighter at the top, which I really like. I watched the whole video yesterday after I finished working on this, just so I could kind of see how everything works and get a really good idea of what I'm doing. So yeah, so I'm gonna fold this over, and then I'm gonna put the beaver fur on top, and then I'm gonna see where I'm at, and then I will just kind of figure out where I want to put the trim after that. All right, I think that is about a good spot there. So I'm just gonna measure that and see what it is, and then I'll mark it and attach it, and then I'll do the other one, and then I will get on my sewing machine and start sewing. All right, I've got my trim pinned on both pieces. I just left the beaver fur up there, just kind of for reference. I feel like this is just so low, but Kielyn put hers at 9. She said she would have made it lower, and mine's at 8. And I don't know. I think it's not even, the beaver fur isn't even on the edge. It's gonna go down a little bit still. So yeah, I think it's good. I mean, it has to be. I put a couple little pen marks, so it's gonna stay like that now. Before I start sewing or doing anything, I had to mark my holes, buttonholes. We're calling them buttonholes, but it's not for a button actually. And yes, it looks like I put it on the good side, but this is actually getting folded in or under, I guess. And then it's going to be on the inside. So, all good. Okay. All right, I'll be back. All right. A lot of things have been done. The trim is on. The bias tape at the bottom is on. I got a little catch on the one moccasin, so I made this one, my left one, with the patch on it. This one came out a lot nicer. There was just a little tiny bubble in that one, but it's fine. I put the patch on. I ended up going with the lighter one. I like it. I did a nice clean stitch around it. And I don't have a buttonholer because my sewing machine is super, super, super old. So what I generally do when I make buttonholes is I just cut the slit and then I do zigzag stitches all around it. But I also I know that this is going to be, I don't want to say a high traffic area, but this is where the laces are going to come out to tie it on the inside. So I just wanted to make sure that it wouldn't fray. So in addition to doing the zigzag stitches, I also did an old school trick of mine for fraying. I used clear nail polish. They actually make something you can get at the fabric store now, I guess, and it's probably does the same thing, but clear nail polish will do the job. So of course you can see it, but this is going on the inside, so I'm perfectly fine with it. So now I'm just going to tuck this under the 1/2 inch and then fold it over and sew that. And the next step will be attaching them to the lowers. Yay! Oops. No, oops, I didn't do anything wrong, but I had just said that the next step was going to be doing the roll down. That's not true. The next step is doing the side seam to make the tube, and then I roll it down so it's all one piece. If I do the roll down first, then I'm going to cut off this part of the tunnel, I guess you could say, and then the string won't go through. So first the side seam, then a zigzag up and down, then trim it, then do the roll down, and then repeat on the other one. All right, I did a little bit of a better job on this one. I know it looks like it goes up and down, but it's all been measured and it looks fine on the side. It's just the way it looks on the back somehow. I don't know. It doesn't look like that in the camera, I guess. Just there you go. Yeah, it kind of looks like it goes down, but whatever. Doesn't need to be perfect. My buttonholes are now dry, so they shouldn't fray. And now I'm going to do the top. I'm going to fold this over. Well, I got to flip it back inside out. And then I'm going to fold it over just a little bit. And then fold it over again so that all this fraying disappears. I see that I made the holes kind of not that great, but it's okay if they're at the top of the boot. It doesn't really matter. They're still going to be on the inside underneath the fur, so you're not going to see them. I took my measuring tape here and I measured 1 1/4 all the way across on both sides. And now I'm going to do the trick that I used earlier with the iron. And I'm just going to make a nice sharp crease in the top here. And then I'll just kind of gently fold this under as I'm putting it through the machine to sew that seam. And that'll give plenty of room for the lacing to go through there. So you can see there's quite a bit on either side, so that should be fine. All right, I just folded it under that just a little piece, just to make it look nice and clean and get that fray underneath there. And you can see it there. You can see it there. And just ironed it flat, gave it a nice crease so that it's a lot easier to sew. And now I'm going to sew that, and then that's it for me today. It's almost 9 o'clock. My cutoff time was 8. I just can't seem to stop. I want to just finish them. I'm very, very close, but I'm going to save the rest for tomorrow night because I don't want to rush and make a mistake. And I need to relax for a bit before I go to bed. All right, I've done the top seam, and I even took a paper clip and threaded the lace all through there and tied it on the inside, and that is done. And I did the other one as well, so that is done. And now I'm going to take a break, but I will continue tomorrow. So yeah, feeling really good about these. Just have to attach them now, the uppers and the lowers, and then add the fur on the top, and then they'll be done. Yay. All right, there's a little mock-up. Get it? Mock-up? Oh, I think I'm so clever. Just kind of a rough, I didn't put the boot liners in it or anything, but just wanted to kind of lay them out to take a look. So they're getting there. I was thinking yesterday that I might not want to use the tan. I might want to use brown on these for the crisscrossy laces. And then I remembered I have brown. My other moccasins have brown, so I might take them out. Well, hello, what's going on? I am hand sewing my uppers to my lowers. I said yesterday I was going to do it with the sewing machine. I have the video on here, and it has taken me forever to figure out how I went about doing this, and I finally figured it out, and now I am sewing away here. I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna sit here. I'm comfy cozy under my blanket. My friend Paula got me this blanket. It's super nice and warm, and it's snowing outside. I had some work done on my teeth today because somebody used her teeth to pull the needle through when I started making my mom's moccasins, and I chipped my front teeth in 3 different spots. And we had a big storm coming in, and there was a break for about 4 hours today, and I took my chance and I drove to Bracebridge and I got my teeth fixed, and I don't really feel like doing too much, but I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna sit here and listen to an audiobook and sew this by hand. So it shouldn't take me too long, and I just want to do it the right way this time. Not that the sewing machine was the wrong way, but I mean, it worked and I'm fine with it, but I just want to do these by hand. So off and running, as you can see, and I'll be back in a bit. So there they are. I stayed up till about midnight last night working on these. I did all of the upper and lower attachment by hand. I was going to do it with the sewing machine like I did my other pair, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do these ones by hand, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. They look awesome. My patch is a little bit closer to the front than I would have liked. I would have preferred it here. I could snip it off and re-sew it there, but again, I think I'm just going to leave it. Just a little quirk that shows that it's mine and I made it. Now, the only thing I haven't done is sewn the fur on. I just kind of faked it. I just laid it around the top here, and I put a couple of clips in the back just to hold it on so I could see what they look like. And don't they look nice? Oh man, I'm so happy with them. But I want to finish them now. I also have to do the soling kit on these. Now, if you don't know what that means, I'll show you my old mocks. Basically, with the kit, you get a container of glue, and you get a bag of like rubber bits. These are like leftovers from a tire factory, I believe is where they still get them from. That's where Kielyn and Dave told me they got them. And you mix the glue and these bits of rubber, and you apply it to the bottom, and then it keeps you from sticking. It also keeps the bottom of the mocks if you're in wet and slushy conditions and like more in city areas and stuff like that. It helps to protect the hide. As you can see, I probably didn't go up high enough here. There's a bit of a mark there from water, but that's what I still need to do for these. And before I do that, I have to scrub the bottoms. I've already started and done a little bit of them, but I have to take a wire brush, which I have here. I just have like a mini one, but that's okay. And you just have to kind of scrub. You can see this one's actually done more than that one because it's starting to get, it'll lose the shine and it gets very flat, and it should be almost like the flesh side of the hide. So I have to do that and then apply the soling kit, and I also have to attach the fur. So today I'm going to attach the fur so I can finish these off. All right, I have attached the fur to the tops of both of the moccasins. This one's just flipped over. This is how I attached it, and yes, I used the sewing machine for this. I just kept it right on the edge so that I wouldn't mess up that tube where I'm gonna put the string in to tighten them at the tops. And I've just left the last few stitches here undone, as you can see. Just got that little bit left because I need to cut a little tiny bit of the beaver fur as it's overlapping right now. And then I'm gonna cut them so that they match up and then sew them together. All right, I have now attached the fur, and now I got the boots with the fur. Yes, apple bottom jeans is still playing in my head. All right, it is almost 11:30 at night and I'm pretty tired. I have been working with the winter moccasins using a wire brush. It's just a small one that I have, which is probably why it's taking me so long. But I've been scrubbing the bottoms to take the shine off, which I'm pretty sure I've done now. It's kind of hard to get this spot here, so I might do that a little bit more in the morning before I start. Well, good morning. It is Sunday, December 15th, and I'm here at my house and I'm ready to apply the sole to my new winter moccasins. So I'm going to be just showing a couple of clips of what I'm doing here. You can find the full instructional video on the Lure of the North Outfitters website, and also on the Lure of the North YouTube page. I'm also going to be putting all of the links in the description of the video because they're the experts. I'm just showing you guys what I'm doing, but it's better to watch the instructional videos for instruction if you're actually doing this yourself. I'm doing 2 pairs of moccasins here, so I'll try to separate the videos for each. Here are my winter moccasins. I've got them all roughed up. What I did was I taped them off because I'm a very messy painter type of person. I'm not very good at staying in the lines or coloring in the lines, I guess. So I've just taped them off. This is not suggested or recommended by Lure of the North. It's just something that I thought would be a good idea. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to take the glue and use the gray brush. Doesn't matter which, both of the brushes are the same. I'm just designating one for glue and one for the rubber. And I'm just going to take the glue and I'm going to do a light coat of glue all over the bottom of the moccasins and then let that set for a bit. It doesn't take long, just until it's tacky, and then I can apply the rubber sole after that. I'm going to mix up a decent amount, but not too much. I don't want to have any waste, but I also am doing 2. So I want to make sure I have enough. The lid back on there. And then mix in the rubber bits. There's not really a recipe for it. Pour the rubber in there. And just got a little stick from the basement. I didn't have any paint sticks, but I think that might be good. I kind of might maybe want to add a little bit more, but I think maybe now I'm just kind of procrastinating because I don't want to put it on the moccasins. Okay, I'm going to try that. Hopefully it works. I think I'm going to do my winter mocks first, just because it's not as easy to see on these if I make a mistake. And just want to make sure it's good consistency before I put it on these cream colored ones where you'll be able to see it very, very well. So what I did while you weren't watching was I made up some more solution, and again made it a really nice thin consistency. Oh, it still looks globby now. It was nice thin consistency. We just need to stir it a bit more. And I've got my gloves on now because I'm gonna have to do some patting. Okay, so this was the first one I finished. As you can see, it's not dry, but it's still a little bit tacky. And you just wanna go and kind of push through any high spots or bubbles. I don't seem to see any. I think it actually came out great. So just gonna check the other one first before it dries too much. All seems to be sticking good. You just want to push that glue and all that stuff into the moccasins so it doesn't come out, it doesn't come off. It looks good. I think it looks great. I'm really happy with them. Okay, so just one more time quickly, I'm going to stir before I start. And now I wanted to stick my hand in there. I'm like, nope. Okay, here we go. Round 2. Gonna leave that, and I'll be back. Okay. Now, these are tacky. I need to get any air bubbles out or any lumps. It's actually gone on very nicely and evenly, and I don't see any issues really, which I'm happy about. I think they look great. Just really want to push the soling into the hide, make sure they're friends and they all get nice and stuck together. And I just want to check the other one before it dries too much. Bit of a glob there on the crescent. Oh, I'm so happy this is done. Didn't get much sleep last night. I was up really late working on these, and then just wanted to get up and get right back at it because I want this to be done. I want them to dry, and get this over with. Honestly, you can still see the hide coming through. So I think I want to do another coat on these. And yeah, they look green. I just noticed it all looks green. Really happy with how this is going on. I honestly wasn't sure if it was going to stick. I just kept roughing it up, and it didn't feel like I was doing a very good job of that. But they seem pretty good. Seems very stuck to it. Nothing is peeling or lifting off the sides. So it's really good. So I noticed that there's a bit of lightness on the side of my moccasins, and I was trying to figure out why. I thought maybe I scrubbed them up too high with the wire brush, and then I just realized that it's probably from the masking tape. So don't use that. Don't do what I did and use the masking tape on the sides. Just got to these in time. I gotta make sure to pat them down, get rid of any bubbles or bumps. You don't want to be walking on like lumps. So got my headlamp on so I can see really good, see if there's any of the moccasin coming through. And I don't see much at all. Still a bit tacky, so that's good. And check this one out. bubble in there. Get rid of that. I think this one's good to wait a little bit. There's a couple of spots still that are very wet. So, here you go. All right, I'm going to pour some rubber out here. As you can see, there's already some on the cardboard, and that is from my mom's mocks. I just have to be careful because I don't want to get any of this stuff on any other part of the moccasins. Okay, so just gonna kind of lightly, just like a little bit more. I have lots of rubber. I have rubber actually left from my original kit as well, so I'm not gonna get chintzy on that. Spread it out a little bit. Oh, there's a big clump. There's a clump there. Get rid of that. Okay. So any spots that are sticky or missing, just kind of pat this in there. It's good to do this while it's still tacky so that it sticks really well. And now you can see some of the green is starting to go away. I might do another thin coat on these after. I just feel like there's some spots that might need it still some more. Anywhere that's shiny, I'm trying to. The headlamp is actually really helpful because it's helping me see where it's shiny and where it's wet, so I can apply the rubber bits. Okay, there you go. You can see a big difference between this one and this one. And just gonna leave it to set now. I'll be coming around and patting it every once in a while as well. Okay. All right. That's it for soling. All right, just coming to check in on my winter mocks. They look really good. You can see some shiny patches here where there's glue and no rubber, or maybe it's just not as much rubber, I'm not sure. But they do look really good. There are a lot of shiny patches I can see in the video, but I think they look really, really great. It might just be because they're still a little bit wet. They do say to leave them for about 24 hours to dry before you wear them. It's supposed to actually rain here tomorrow. We're getting up to like 20 millimeters of rain. So I won't be putting these on anytime soon. Maybe Wednesday or Thursday. It's supposed to cool down then, but we'll see. But for now, I'm just going to let them set, and I will be back in a bit. Well, my winter moccasins are now done, and I couldn't be happier with them. They turned out absolutely beautiful, and I am in love with them. They have some imperfections, but like Kielyn said on her videos, you can't really tell. The rubber adhered well to the bottoms, and I am going to get lots and lots of use out of these. My favorite part of the moccasins is, and always will be, the boots with the fur. Check out Lure of the North Outfitters website and see how you can make your very own winter moccasins. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please click the subscribe button.
Also click the bell for notifications. If you'd like to get more information on the stuff I use on my trips, please check out my website at CamperChristina.com. Thanks. Bye.